Record. So the topic that I will cover today is common mistakes in sleep. As the title gives us probably very slight idea about all the mistakes that past students committed, which made them unable to reach their desired band score. Well, to be honest, the score requirements vary from one person to another. So if I will be asking you today, do any one of you guys here have a plan of just getting a band four in speaking? Like band four is okay. Band five, six, band six, band five, band six, 4.5, 4.5. Okay. Who among you guys want to get band seven? Band eight. So we have here the band eight applicants. You know what? If you just need 4.5, sabi ko nga sa mga students ko, you came to the wrong place. Oh, you came to the wrong place. Because if you want to get 4.5, all you have to do is to sleep, go shopping, do your daily routine, take the exams even without preparation. 4.5 is going to be a guide. Trust me.
Pero kasi dyan, hindi pa kami inform sa speaking natin. Kaya kami nag-video.
Yes. And that will make us richer. Okay?
Mas maganda sa sayang pa.
Correct.
Yeah, sayang.
Yeah.
Yun ang point namin, ang limit lang namin, 4.5.
Yeah.
Kasi
But getting a higher band score is going to be an advantage because the higher the band score, the better the chance of you being invited for permanent residency and things like that. But if you guys are thinking, you guys are wondering, like, sit ka, kaya kang ganyan, ha? Sabi mo dito yung misis. Tapos sabi ko yung kapit mo sa kapila. Iisip mo, makakapagkala na kaya ako. Huwag mo lang isipin. Tulog ka na. Oh. Because 4.5 isn't very difficult to achieve. Of course, you need to exert a bit of effort. But the effort that you will pour into it is not as much effort they should put in. So the parameters when it comes to the speaking test vary depending on what score you want to do. And it's a good thing you mentioned you were here not because you want to get 4.5. It's a good thing because I like that result, like this burning passion of getting a higher band score than what you just require as a minimum. You know, I will impose this on you. The score that you should get is not 4.5. The score that you must get should be a 9. 8. Slower than 9. What score do you want? Fucking 9, come on. Right? Tell yourself that. I'm not here to settle for a mediocre low score. I'm here to get the perfect score in the IELTS. That is a band 9, 9.0. That's why we are called such 9.09er, because after getting the perfect score, you are a certified 9er. Okay? So, in doing so, however, there are certain problems that even aware candidates or unaware ones will more so encounter that we must avoid. So there are hurdles which prevents us from getting a perfect score. And that is what I will tackle in this lecture specifically. The common mistakes in speaking. What were the factors which have contributed to the former students of Sir Kevin, which made them fail the exam? So when you say fail, they didn't get the desired band score. So if I want 7, I got 6.5. If I want 6, I got 5.5. What were the problems that they came across with? So I will not just talk today I will not waste your time talking about problems today. I will also give you tips how to address such concerns. So this will be a lecture about history, what were the problems of the past, and what can I learn from it? What should I do to avoid committing the same mistakes again? So that is what we're here for today. Now, the very first mistake that I'm sure you guys would agree with me is not preparing for the exam. Although being unprepared, taking the examination with little to no knowledge about IELTS can guarantee you even getting a band 5. Tapos listening nga, baka maka-7 ka pa even without knowledge about IELTS. Ganun siyang kadali, no? So let us take a look at these numbers right here, at the statistics that I want to showcase before to you. So we have here the average band score of test takers in the Philippines. And they are 6.8 for academic and 6.4 for general. So may I see the hands of academic people? Academic, do we have academic? So I have 2. You're not academic? O, academic ka. O, taas naman. Tinan mo, isang buwan ka na dito, yung pala, anong module. Okay, so you guys are all general training, is that correct? All right, so first things first, when it comes to teaching, I'm very biased. I put more of my favor on general training rather than academic. You know, for general training, I treat them like my brothers or sisters, like my daughters, like mga ina, mga anak. Ganun ang tuloy ko sa kanila. Sa mga academic. Alright? Bakit natigas ulo mga academic? Right? So, we don't have a certain batch na natuwa ako pag academic. Parang lahat laging tigas ulo. So, let's compare them. Sir, sabi mo, mas bias ka sa GT. Ba't mas mataas kami mga akad? Wala pala yung mga manok mo eh. Diba? Wala pala yan eh. Mahina pala yung mga bata mo eh. Bata mo yan, tapos 6.4 lang. Eh kami, 6.8 national average. So here's the idea behind it. A general training individual will take the examination for the purpose of permanent residency, spouse visa, fiancé visa. You just need to get 4.5 for them to pass. So they don't put in much effort. 5, okay, I'm going to be happy with 5. Which contributed to the low ceiling. So pag pinagsama-sama natin yon, yung mga unmotivated na GP, pag-retake pa ako, kaya pasado na. Okay na eh. Okay na yung 6. Huwag pa ako mag-retake, eh, pasado na yung 6. Diba? Sa academic, they would not stop. They wouldn't stop until they get 7. So chances of academic, so here's the number, ha? Numbers don't lie. First time test takers in the Philippines get 7 at 9%. Means if I'm going to take the exam and I will undergo academic, chances of me getting a 7 is 9%. Is that high or low? Would you bet on a 9% chance? I wouldn't. Susugal ka ba sa 9% lang? Ba hindi. Baba yan. Second time test takers get 7 at 54. It's a 5 times increase. 5 times. From 9, multiply, 9 times 6, 56, tama? 54. O tama, sakto-sakto. 54. 5 times. Patingin niyo bakit kaya? Biglang tumaas from 9% initially of not getting a 7 to 54% chances of getting a 7. Ano kaya ang naging reason? Dahil this time, second time na magte-take si Akad, natuto. Ay, oo nga, putya, mahirap pala si IELTS. Nakapag-review nga. Around 70% of the test-taking population in this country are not enrolled in NRT schools, which contributes this low performance. 6.8, that's pretty high, if you ask. Academic, that's not yet a 7. It's very far from 8. GT, I know you guys will be happy just getting 5 or 5.5 just to get by. But you shouldn't be happy. Getting a 9 is our aim. Okay? So I just want you guys to look at these numbers. These numbers were conducted by the British Council's research, which we're a part of. So, 2018 nila ginawa itong study. Marami na nagbago after that. Mas tamad na yung mga estudyante na yun. Gusto nila, USB na lang lahat ng lecture, tapos sasaksak mo na sa kukote nila. Okay? So, madali na lahat, instant. I've seen students who come in here and spend roughly 4 to 6 months. And some people are overconfident coming into this lecture, telling me, sir, I will take my exams next month. What score do you want to get? 7. Good luck. You haven't even scratched the surface. Speaking and writing, there's a lot of things to talk about when it comes to those exams, because it is subjected for the examiner's bias. So we have to also consider not only your performance, but whether your performance will be compatible to the specific situation for this specific exam. A lot of things could happen. Reading criteria. How will you be assessed? Well, of course, examiners have their metrics. They have this ruler. They have this guide to help them what score you are supposed to get. Okay? And these are the following. Number 1 is fluency and cohesion. Can you guys say that? Fluency and cohesion? Okay. What is fluency and cohesion? I just talked about that last week. Fluency is the smoothness of your response. Cohesion is the relevance of your answer to the question. If I ask you a question, what is your name? And you said spaghetti. What is your favorite food? And you said Kevin. It's fine. You still answer the question, but the question is, did you respond to the question accordingly? Of course not. So you will have deductions in fluency and cohesion. Wala pong maling sagot sa speaking. Bahala ka kung paano mo gustong sagutin yan. Wala pong maling sagot. Totoo. But the question of cohesion is whether your response is directly addressing the question promptly. That is the direction. So if you're going to give an answer that is unrelated, way too unrelated to the question, then you're going to have a lot of deductions from it. Fluency, you have to make sure that when you speak in a confident manner without hesitations. And hesitations happen because they don't know what to do. They're at loss. That's why we must prepare first. Magkahanda muna tayo ngayon para tayo sumapak sa totoo. Para pagdating natin doon, sanay na sanay na. Ito lang pala to, ito lang ginagawa namin practice eh. Sabi nga nung isang student, sir, alam mo, hirap pa yung coaching sa totoong exam. Yung mga umiiyak sa estudyante pa nagpapakoach. Siguro, 12 na? Oh. Ay mismo. Siguro mga first few sessions, relax pa yan. Pag mga 5th, 6th, ayan na, yung mga lumuluha na. Ang mga speaker. Because some of them are not very familiar with the questions. So I want you to know it personally. No? You be the one to experience it yourself. So vocabulary and lexical resource, kailan natin ito tinakot? Wednesday. Ano ba yung vocabulary and lexical resource? Of course, this examination is an English exam. So definitely, you have to speak English. So most notably, when you say English, you have to refrain from using any Filipino words. For example, you're telling a story. My lola, when I went there, we ate pakbet. Diba? Nabiting pakbet, bagong and talong. And then, pinritong galunggong. Wala nang English na sinabi mo. Guys, your examiner will be the one assessing your performance. And your examiner is completely random. We're going to undergo the computer delivery exam. May na-encounter na sila dyan at Egyptian exam. Taga-Egypt, anong alam niyan sa galunggong? Anong alam sa pakbet nun? Diba? So you have to consider that Filipinos are not very special. Not everyone around the world knows who we are. Knows what dish we eat here. What food do we like in particular. So give the benefit of the doubt and try to explain everything in English. So if you're at loss of what to say, always remember, being descriptive gets it. So describe. Okay, if you don't know the English, of pakbet, stir-fried Filipino style mixed vegetables with fish sauce. Diba? Hindi na sila. Halo-halo yung pilay. Ginisa-gisa, nilagyan ng patis. O yun na. Lagyan ng bago. Yun na. Refrain from using Filipino terms. Huwag din gagamit ng mga Spanish terms. Huwag din gagamit ng mga Latin words. Like, plastic sa lukutua. Or raison d'etre. Avoid bad words. Go to that restaurant. The people are stupid. The food is fucking disgusting. Nagpunta ka doon para magreklamo. Ba't di ka nagpunta doon sa restaurant para magreklamo? Ba't ito pa sa magreklamo? Hindi naman kami help desk. You want to give the examiner, and even yourself, lesson experience. No bad words. No to negativity. Okay? Grammar. Well, this is the part of the speaking test you have to be happy about. Because unlike Filipinos, examiners are not very particular with our grammar. Yung mga examiner, mapagbigay yan. Kamali ka ng konti sa grammar, magbibigyan ka nila. Ha? My mother, she, okay lang sa kanila yun, hindi na tayo. My dog, she. Ako ha? Kung nagkamali-mali ng konti sa pronouns, they forgive easily. Pakialam dyan. Mga Pilipino, magkamali ka lang ng konti, screenshot. Send sa group chat, tingnan nyo itong nakatawanan na natin. Akalat na sisita. You know what? Meron mga students na nasa YouTube. Papusan sa Facebook, parang Digimon. Tapos, mali-mali pa yung tense. Tapos, kung dalawa pa. Happy, H na maliit, malaking A, maliit na P, malaking P, Y. Tapos, koma. Birthday. Sisip, ba't ko binabasa ko lang sa ulo? Pero di ko pinokorek. Bakit? Di ko pinokorek. Bakit? Bakit? Okay na yun. Kung masaya siyang mali-mali yung grammar niya, okay na. Kasi nasa US na siya. Tumatago na siya ng 300 to 500,000. Ang laban natin sa maling grammar. Ang laban niya sabi niya. Ang laban. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, kung mapasa po sa IELTS, mukha ng daming mali yung grammar. Meron akong kaibigan sa Japan. mom of 3, tatlo yung anak niya. Sabi niya, "Kevin, gusto kong baguhin yung buhay namin," ganyan. Kasi single mom siya, gusto kong mag-New Zealand, ito yung ano ko, visa na paraan. Sabi, kailangan ko daw ng 6, walang bababa sa 6. Nag-coaching kami, one on one. Ano yung score na binigay ko? Sabi ko sa kanya, "Napakabobo mo. Huwag ka na kaya kung mag-IELTS, huwag ka na mag-New Zealand, mag-Afghanistan ka na lang. Taga-reload ng Granada. O kaya taga-hanap ng landmine, puwede pa." Totoo yan, okey? Totoo po yun. Sabi ko sa kanya, ulit-ulit, puro gano'n yung pagkakamali. Hanggang sa hindi naman siya nagpatinag, nag-improve. That time, nagkaroon po ng dalawang magkahiwalay na exam. Sa Cabanatuan City at isa sa, Dagupan. Tanong niya sa'kin, "Saan ba ako mag-e-exam?" Sabi ko, "Dagupan." "Bakit dayo ka dun? Kakaiba ka." Siyempre 'pag dayo yung mga pinsan natin umuwi galing Manila, 'di ba, may mga main character vibes. Pambida-bida sila kahit di naman talaga sila bida. Kung gano'n silang arrive, eh. Sabi ko, "Gano'n yung magiging datingan mo do'n." Kasi 'pag nasa Cabanatuan ka, tapos in-interview ka, "Where are you from?" Cabanatuan. 10 beses ko na narinig yan, nakakatuwa. Sawa-sawa sila agad. Kasi ang examiner mga tao din po yan, sasawa din yan sa mga common answers. So 'pag nasa Dagupan ka, tinanong ka nila, "Where are you from?" "Cabanatuan." Meron pang topic ngayon na pag-uusapan. "Sige, sige," sabi niya. "Maganda ka ng kasal." Hapon, ring ng ring yung phone ko. Tapos pagtingin ko sa message, siguro mga 45, puro mura. Minumura niya ako. Bakit? Kasi may group chat kami ng mga students. Sabi ng mga students na nagkabalatuan, ang, natapat sa kanilang examiner si Cindy La Rosa. Cindy La Rosa po ang patron saint of IELTS in the Philippines. Dahil 'pag yun po ang natapat sa examiner, that's your ticket already. Totoo, sampakan lang ng eroplano, yun na lang hinihintay mo, 'pag yun pong examiner. Matandang babae yun, mga 56, 57 years old na. Yung buhok niya, ganito yung length, tapos halo yung puti tsaka kulay ng blonde. Alam niyo yan, yung parang nagpakulay yung lola niyo tapos pumuti ulit, na-wash, gano'n yung kulay ng buhok niya. So siya po talaga ay British woman. Bakit La Rosa? Napangasawa po kasi siya dito sa yung mga Pilipino 'pag nakita ng foreigner hindi palagi kasi yung pagkakataon na sa'yo po ano, ang nakakakilig sabi. Mga kaklase ko natapat si Cindy La Rosa. Ka-examiner ko dito, si R. Escalana. Si R. Escalana. Meron akong kaklase nung college. Okay? Top 1 yung thesis nila nilaban sa region. Ano po kakainin. Special section of high school. Um, Scholar kaming parehas hanggang 4th year college. Meron kaming tinatanggap na allowance sa congressman. Dahil name-maintain namin ganun kataas Dean's Lister. Cum laude lumra. Nakatalino. So, tapat kay R. Escalana. Binigay ng score sa speaking, sa is. Sabihin, "Sir, yung talino na yun, nasa is lang. Yung 6 lang, yung performance mo sa totoong buhay, 4 lang bibigitin ka." Ganun siya kalupit. Kaya nga 'pag nagpe-pray yung mga estudyante, di ba siyempre yung mga Catholic, sa mga katulad sa kanto dito, tayo ng mga Saint Jude, yung sa panalangin. Sabi ko, si Aras, ano yan, ano si Saint Laro. Yun po ang dasal namin. Specific tayo mag-pray, di ba? Alam niya, Kevin, naisip niya ba yung galit niya? Lahat ng mga estudyanteng nagkabalatuan na sa GC, lahat masaya na, nag-iinuman na after. Yun lang ang result, alam na nila. Okay? If I'm not mistaken, 32 out of 33 doon pumasa. Ganun kadami pumasa. Kasi may isang lumagpak. Yun po yung 2 beses na pumapasok sa isang taon. Susulpot lang dito. Yung ng tubig. Yan, is na. Ay naman, Win. Papako. Yun yung lumigwak. 32 of 33 candidates. Pasado. Sa labing pasado, kailangan nilang 7. Yan, ano kami nun eh. Parang 55 kami sa classroom. Puno kami nun. Pucha, biglang 16 na. Biglang kumonte. Kasi nakagraduate na lahat. Imagine, yung anger ni friend ko na sana, nasama ako dyan sa mga yan. Hindi mo lang pinakialaman na dyan ako sa nagupan mo isa. Nangyayaka talaga, hindi mo sa akin. Alam niyo ba kanina kuha ng score kay RS ka lang? Diba sabi ko, bobo niya, 4 lang nakukuha niya na. Naisip mo ba kung anong score? Like, di ba? 6.5 po siya. Mas mataas pa din sa mga best friend. Anong nais pahiwatig sa atin ng kwento ko? Wala po yan sa iyong education natin. Naswerte. Naswerte. Ano pang natanong dun sa friend ko sa Japan? Single mom. About friendship. About regrets. That time, her cousin committed suicide 2 weeks prior to this. So she told this story to Ara. She was moved. Even though the grammar was inaccurate, but the content was there. She understood the message. Kaya nga pag si Ara to ah. Ano ba yung tsura sir ni Ara? 6-footer yun na babae. Pagka nagpapapicture kami nila sa Irving na, nagbalikat lang kami. Imagine yung laki niya. Sa lamin, mahabay po ako yung tsara. Dinagat ako. Pwede sila. Okay? Dahil po si Miss Aras. Alam niya na, pag siya natapat sa inyo, dramatic. What is your name? So, grammar. Is grammar important in speaking? Not as important as fluency in speaking. So you shouldn't be too occupied with just one of the 4 areas. But the most important one is this: pronunciation. Pronunciation and delivery is the most important category in relation to the speaking. You should work on developing your fluency and coherence and your pronunciation and delivery rather than being too focused in vocabulary and grammar. Okay, so let's begin. Let's talk about the common mistakes in fluency and cohesion. First time that you see this lady, what do you think? Ano pong adjective ang pwede niyong i-describe dito kay ate? Adjective. One word, adjective. Upon looking at her, seeing her with this expression, what adjective can you think of? Sabi, confused, nervous, ano pa yung isa? Confused, nervous, Anxious. Pare-parehas lang yan. Which situations do you think you will find yourself doing exactly like this? Sa mga anong sitwasyon nyo kaya nararamdaman itong ganito? Yung kaba, yung pagkabalisa, pagkabahala, pag-aalala. May classroom observation. Kasi syempre, knowing na merong magja-judge sa'yo. Like sa exam, knowing na may examiner na magja-judge sa'yo, kakabahan ka. Most importantly, you feel anxious, you feel nervous, you feel afraid of something if you're not very familiar with it. Mga bagay na hindi tayo sanay o mga pagkakataon na nakakagulat sa atin, napapaganito tayo. Mga nakakabigla na bagay. So, mga sir, ano po ang inyong trabaho? Heavy equipment operator? Okay. Okay. Sir, anong heavy equipment business? Like crane, backhoe. First time mo, sir, nag-drive? Yung first time, naalala mo? Ilan taon ka, sir? 97. Anong naramdaman mo? Nakakaba, di ba? Hindi mo alam, may pipindutin eh. Baka iba yung mga hukay mo eh. So lahat po tayo, sa umpisa eh, hindi naman magaling. Ako rin. Okay na sa umpisa, hindi naman din ako magaling. Gano'n, natututo pa nga kami. Every year, nag-aaral ka regarding IELTS. We enhance our skills on a yearly basis because we don't want to be caught slacking off. Imagine, even in cooking, you're not very confident. Look at those people who do things for the first time. Kung yung naging asyente na, huwag naman sana. You would notice that young, inexperienced nurses, even mga students, makakabado yan. Hindi nga alam yung gagawin, tatanong sila. Mga senior naman na nurse, ayan, mataba, salamin. So, sakit. Kalabit. Kasi they have been doing this for decades. Diba? Kita niyo mga chef. O tapos ngayon, ilang taong ka na, sir? 43. Sir, 43. Around 10 years. Kaya nag-drive ng heavy equipment. Gano'n ka na siguro siya, sir. Apply po. Tingin niya ko yun, nangukay niya. Gano'n na siya. Gano'n yung nakakabisada. Tama po ba? We compare it for the first time. And your most recent experience doing what you have been doing during those days. You compare your skill. Compare it. You're more skillful, wiser, more confident. You're very far away from this. This is what we want to avoid. We want to develop skills. We want to be confident. When the examination comes, fear nothing. Even though you have slight anxiety, you can use it to channel being better during the situation. Stuttering. Ano po may stuttering? Ulit, utan. The fillers is there is this sentence and you are putting some unnecessary sounds in between. Like, you know, well, those are things. Well, it's not wrong to use them. What's wrong is we're going to overuse them. So if we're going to mention, Kevin, tell me about your favorite food. Bakit ako? There are a lot of food that I like, from main dishes down to dessert. But the one thing I think I always eat, because it's my favorite due to taste, have to be ice cream. You see, ice cream, it's cool to taste, has a lot of flavors you can do to it. My favorite being strawberry ice cream. I don't know, because probably it's the rarity of strawberries in the country. You can only eat strawberries in Baguio City, about 4 to 5 hours drive from where I am. So that's why whenever I get the chance to eat an ice cream, but actually strawberry flavored one, oof, makes me really excited. It's my favorite. Gumamit pa ako ng sa umpisa. Naalala niyo pa? Hindi na. Nagets yan? I use but not as a filler. I use because I use it as a launcher. To mention my ideas later. Ano bang cause ng stuttering? Uncomfortable. Hindi ka sanay sa isang sitwasyon eh. So pag uncomfortable ka, di ba? Likod ka. Ano nga mo? But uneasy. Imagine, 8 kayong magkakaibigan. Okay? May group chat kayo. Tapos okay, good night. Sige, kita-kita na lang tayo bukas. Ganyan. Nag-crave ka sa McDo, pumunta ka. Nakita mo silang 7. Andun sila, magkakasama. Hindi ka sinalig. Sabi, uy, ganito, bukas namin. Parang, hindi ka comfortable. Hindi ako in-invite ha. Ngayon, may kapal na mukha yan. Okay? So yun po yung feeling of uncomfortable. Because you're put in a situation you're not very familiar with. Nervousness. Because your fear of judgment gets into you. Kinakabahan ka. Dahil baka i-judge ka ng examiner. And too self-conscious. Kung pagkakamali. Abahan ako kasi ito ang susi ng kinabukasan ko. 8 alaga akong pusa. Saan sila pupunta ng pagkain? Kung hindi mo makapag-Canada. Diba? Ayun na. It gets into you. Kinain ka na ng kaba mo. Anong solution natin? Siyempre, get used to the situation. Masanay ka. No? Always put yourself in a situation that makes you uncomfortable. That is very close to the experience of things. At ano po ang tawag natin doon? Anong tawag natin doon? Sir, anong tawag natin? Coaching. You put yourself in the speaking examination situation. Often, that is very close to the actual thing. And what is that? None other than the one-on-one coaching. In the one-on-one coaching, you will get to be interviewed the same as how the actual speaking test. You will get interviewed with questions by the examiner, but there is no examiner. There's just me conducting the interview. I will ask you questions. You will respond to them based on your overall performance. I will give you your score. Score that you think you deserve for this particular scenario. The speaking one-on-one will last for approximately the same time as the length of the actual exam. Are you familiar with the duration of the actual examination interview? It's about 10 to 15 minutes. So if we're going to do 12 minutes, that's approximately what we expect in the actual exam. But we will be exceeding that since I will tell you more about their performance in depth. Sabihin ko, sa part 1, ganito ginawa mo, okay ako dyan. Ito yung mga nanood ko. Sa part 2, may nasabi ka na hindi tama. So next time, pag na-encounter mo yung ito, hindi mo na ito gagawin. At yun ang gagawin mo. And then sa part 3, medyo humina na ng konti ang iyong performance level, so you have to last the entire exam. Meron namang opposite, may mga students naman na sa umpisa, tutulog-tulog. Yung pag huli na sila, ganadun sila. So in speaking, our aim is to start strong and to finish strong. There should be no low energy levels in between. So the more assertive you are, the more talkative you become, the better assessment you have. So practice is the solution for you to get used to the situation. Therefore, avoiding stuttering and failures in the process. So it would not take very fast for you to correct these incompetencies. Hindi po ganun kadali. Kung may nabibili lang namang gamot sa Mercury, napabili nga po ng pampawala ng kaba sa IELTS, pampagaling mag-English, edi sana ginawa na. So it doesn't take overnight. You have to do it regularly. Lagi mong gagawin. Dahil palagi mo siyang ginagawa, masasanay yan. Tulad nila, sir. Lagi nilang ginagawa, masasanay na sila. Ikaw, lagi mong ginagawa sa sarili mo, pagbigyan ng jowa mo sa mga pagkakamali, nasasanay ka na, mamanig ka. Sanay na ako masaktan ka. Kailangan ako naramdaman. Yan. Oo, alam mo kayo. Okay. Limited vocabulary. What do you mean by limited vocabulary? Ano po ibig sabihin yan? Sir, bali yung vocabulary po ay limited. O, tama. Oh, wala akong masyadong alam na English. No words. Guys, you're not being forced to use uncommon terms in English. As a matter of fact, the simple words you will use, the better assessment you. Common words. Kasi karamihan ng pagkakamali ng iba, akala nila, pag IELTS daw, matututo sila ng mga kakaibang words. Oo. Na pag nag-usap-usap kayo magkakaibigan, hindi na kayo maiintindihan. Yun ba yung goal ng IELTS? Hindi po. The goal of the speaking test is to assess your English use in communication. Why are you going to use words which you think somebody would not understand? Binablock mo na agad yung communication na. So, isa po sa mga competitors namin dito sa Cabanatuan City. IELTS review din, hindi ko napapangalanan. Dati ko pong mentor ang kanilang instructor. So, from 2016 po ako nag-take over, 2015 siya. Stop because 2015 to 2016. Dahil siya po ay naging instructor sa Baguio City. Now, nagkaroon ng concern, one of the examiners, sabi sa amin, Sir Irvin, yung amin mo, Sir Irvin, why are you teaching your candidates the words neoteric and flabbergasted if they cannot use it properly? What? Flabbergasted? What is your favorite food? I'm very flabbergasted about your question. Well, sabi namin, ito galing yan. Sa natuto namin, galing po siya doon sa isang language center. Naming, tinanong ka, lagi mo ipasok ang word na to. Neoteric, ganda yan. Pasok mo to. Flabbergasted, ganda yan. Tinanong, what is your favorite food? Sabi ng student, in this neoteric era, it's very imperative that people know the consumption of food. That's why I'm very flabbergasted to answer you. So, kaya tanong na kita, what's your favorite food? Tapos sabi mo, flabbergasted. Ano po ba yung flabbergasted? You guys want to know flabbergasted is? Very good. Yun po si flabbergasted. Nagulat. Nagulat ka ba? Tinatanong mo kung favorite food. Yung kung bakit hindi siya fit na situation? Kasi hindi ako yung salita na yun, sa sitwasyon. Nag-uusap lang tayo eh. What's your favorite food? Hindi ka. Mom, taught me how to cook fried chicken. Fried chicken with gravy. Makes the chicken tasty. O yun lang, okay pa eh. Nagot mo yung tanong, bigay ka ng details, bigay ka ng example, bigay ka ng summary. Akala nila, a lot of misconceptions people have about this. The more difficult your words are to understand, the better assessment you make. The simple words we use. For that. Good habits. Fried chicken, no? Please. The words, mga sanay lang tayo, hindi natin kailangan ng mga kakaiba. Yes, hindi kailangan ng words na yun. Huh? Kasi hindi siya tama. So limited vocabulary. Solution is either to read more, watch English speakers. Ano pong English speakers? Anong uri po ng English speakers na panonoorin? Mga interviews. If you does not understand the question, if you do not understand the question, do not answer. Sir, hindi ko po naintindihan yung tanong. Ano pong gagawin ko? Have it repeated by saying, can you please repeat the question? Thank you. Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question. Can you please repeat it? Good. This time, you're na ng examiner, bakit po ba minsan mahirap marinig yung question? Ang interview nyo ay nagawa natin via Zoom. Sometimes, it's a barrier to the communication. Kakabilib sa internet. Tell me about that. Hindi naiintindihan. Yes. Yes. Kaya dapat ba pagkakapakawal ko, ha? Ganun ba? Pag hindi naiintindihan, can you please repeat the question? Thank you. Unfamiliar with the topic. Hindi ko talaga alam saan eh. Ang tanong sa akin ng examiner, ganito. Kevin, tell me about the difference between the lies told by adults compared to the lies told by children. Biglang na-blank siya. Hindi ko alam. Oo, may ganun magkakastaan, di ba? Minsan, bibitray na lang tayo ng utak natin eh. Yan lang hindi na natin alam yung sagot. Ano po kaya pag gano'n? Let the examiner know, you don't know the answer. Ano? Sabihin mo lang, I'm sorry, but honestly, I don't have an answer. Right. But don't worry. When I get home today, I'll do my research. Thank you. Sagot pa rin yun. English pa rin yun. Hindi mo lang sinabi yung sagot at na-appreciate mo na yun. Yung isang student, 2 beses yung ginamit ng 6. Ano score niya? 7 point. Sabihin, pwede pala. Yun lang, huwag nyo lang aabusuhin. What is your name? Sorry. Pupuloy lang. Okay, gagamitin lang ko yan sa lifeline. If you don't really know the answer to the specific question. Usually, saan ko nag-a-appear yung mahihirap na speaking part. Lahat mo ng questions sa task 1, alam ang sagot. Totoo. Diba, kakaibang question, like, lahat ng binasa ko, sir, ang questions na binigay mo, Walang lumabas. Ito yung mga lumabas eh. Do you like eating barbecue? Wala siyang sa listahan mo, kaya hindi ko napaghandaan. Bakit? Hindi mo ba alam yung sagot? If you like eating barbecue or not? Tinanong. Do you want to own a boat in the future? Ano mo ba yung sagot doon? Gusto mo magkaroon ng bangka? Sa hinaharap. O, ikaw, gusto mo? O, ikaw. Ikaw, gusto mo? Sorry, ako. Ayoko magkaroon ng bangka. Hindi sabihin ko po. May bangka. O, ano yung bangka? Di ba kumangista? Diba? So, if your answer is yes, I would very much like to own a boat in the future, especially if it is a yacht that I can use for leisure, travel along the waters of Zambales, Longapo, and Manila. I think it will be very convenient for me because I travel often to Manila, and the traffic is always heavy, especially in North Luzon Expressway during weekends. So I think having a boat would make it this travel much faster. I can also use it to rent. For rent. Diba? Well, cool. Sabi mo, sir, I don't want to own a boat because I think it will just be a burden for me to maintain. You see, my business is all about agriculture. So instead of owning a boat, I'd rather appreciate it if I can have much better farm equipment in my business, like tractors and harvesters. But boats, that would be the least among the vehicles that I would like to purchase, especially when I get older. Gusto mo ba ng barbecue? Gusto mo magkaroon ng bangka? May natanong ka, di daw napagandaan. Do you like eating spicy food? Kanya-kanya rin tayo ng take dyan. May gustong kumain ng maanghang. Sino gusto kumain ng maanghang? Oh, sino ayaw sa maanghang? Ayoko, di ba? Kumain ng maanghang. Kaya sa bahay namin, kakain kami lahat. Tapos maanghang yung pagkain. Dati nagkakunta na. Kung lang yung gano'n, babay ko lang yung sa ulang eh. Oh. But I know the answer to that question. Sa part 1, wala pa tayong hindi problema dyan. Know the answers. Okay, family members. Food. Last time you went to a supermarket, last time you bought something. So, hindi lang po siya mga personal experiences, pati mga future. Di ba? Do you want to change your work in the future? What is your ideal work? Is there something you would like to change in your workplace? Would you want to change the paint, the color of your house in the future? Like, ang kulay ng bahay mo ngayon, let's say, green and purple. Kasi aminin natin, kasi mga nanay natin, hindi magaling pumili ng kulay. Wala lang nagawin mga tatay natin. Yun yung labas. Yung bubong mo, violet. Yung paggilid mo, pula. Diba? Hindi, parang naman. Ay, hindi nakapababa na. Gusto mo, ano lang, minimalist. White, gray, yun lang gusto mo. So the color of my house is very weird. We have purple on the walls. The interior is orange. I know, it's very bright. I like bright colors too. And what I would like to change is for it to become much cleaner. I would like to use neutral colors, neutral tones even, like touch of tan, dirty white would do. Instead of the orange and purple combination, that I don't see any resemblance whatsoever. Yes, my answer is like to change the color of my house. I want it to be a bit more neutral, a bit more eye-friendly. I think the color of my house is very boring. White, gray, where's the life in, right? I would like to change it into purple, red roof, and orange lining. Ano? rainbow yung ano mo, yung bahay mo, ikaw masusunod, bahay mo yan eh. So gusto nilang matanong ano yung mga nakaraan mo, ano yung mga sa ngayon, ano yung mga plano mo sa hinaharap, likes and dislikes, pati mga ayaw mo. No? What is a household chore that you hate doing? Hate washing the dishes. Can ask me to do anything at home. I can clean the house. I can keep things tidy. I can even paint it if my mom asks for it. But one thing that I don't like is washing the dishes, especially if they are plastic wares and the oil. Yung Tupperware na pinaglagay ng minudong mantika, isisin mo, hirap. Ayoko talaga. So, gawin ko na lahat. Hanggang ko maghugas ng pinggan. Yung iba naman, tuwan-tuwa pa naghugas ng pinggan eh. Diba? Kanya-kanya nga tayo eh. So yun po si part 1. So we will not encounter any problematic questions in task 1. You know the answers to your questions. You just have to know who you are. That's one of the challenges you need to accomplish first. So, you don't know the answer, be honest with them. They appreciate honesty. Hindi ko alam, sabihin. Okay? Trying not to commit fillers, it's acceptable but don't overdo it. If you're unable to link words and phrases and sentences to form an idea, use linking words and discourse markers. So for those of you who have attended my vocabulary for IELTS last Wednesday, and for those of you who will attend my lecture for open-ended discussion, writing task major tomorrow, then you probably already understand that there are linking words that we use to connect words, phrases, sentences, and even paragraph level in an essay. Unfortunately, we will not find any good use of them in the speaking because the speaking examinations requirement for discourse markers are way different than the discourse markers we use in speaking. So if you imagine this scenario, we are going to put them into groups. The speaking examination is what we call as a less formal, a bit friendlier tone and approach. So the atmosphere that you should let the examiners experience is like, chill lang, alam lang, kwentuhan. Sabi nga sa amin ng examiner, we want candidates to make us feel like the interview is just two friends who haven't seen each other for a long time and they're just catching up. For example, kayong dalawa, napunta na kayo ng UK. Tapos, 5 years kayo hindi nakita. So, kita kayo ulit. Ang pass na yung ganyan, di ba? Huwag mo naman hampasin yung examiner. So, you don't do that. At least, you should be respectful. Sabi ng examiner, ano daw pong formality level ng exam? Friendly, but polite. Magalang. Okay? So, tinanong, hi, my name is Ian Wall. I'll be your examiner for today. Hi, Ian. Name is Kevin Mangudagdag. Please call me Kevin for short, because that is what my friends and family call. It's nice to meet you. Kevin, how many are you in the family? Right now, my family consists of 5 members, which includes my aunt, my mother, my sister, and her son. Just recently, I moved in with my own family. So my family is just small. I have my wife and my son. We're just building our house at the moment, so we haven't moved into the house that we own yet. But by next year, we plan to move in and we will become neighbors with my immediate family. So those are the members of my family. Do you have a favorite family member? Well, you see, my aunt is the one who raised me. Her name is Josefina, but I actually call her not just aunt, I call her Mimi because it sounds cute. So she raised me ever since. She raised me into a very honest, respectful person. And I'm very thankful for all the things she did for me. That's why I reached wherever I am right now. All thanks to her. I asked her for advice at times. She also asked me for advice as well. So that's why I consider her my favorite family member. What are the activities that you and your family do? Ano daw bang ginagawa nyo, mga kapamilya nyo? Diba? What are the activities that you do together with your family? Kanya-kanya tayo, di ba? Oh, may mga family members, nagmo-mall sila pag weekend. Dito sila sa church. Ta-travel sila sa mga iba-ibang lugar. May mga family members naman na nag-aagawan ng lupa ang mga anak. Okay? So, pwede rin yun. So, what are the linking words that we use in speaking? Again, these bunch of words will be very far from the words we use in writing. Once again, writing po masyadong formal. Examiners don't like too formal conversations. So we have to keep it light-hearted. No? So, ba't tinanong ka, Kevin, what is your favorite food? Food is essential. Survival of the human beings. On this planet, food has become a very staple one that kept humanity's existence. I check for the past millennia. Ano, wala lang naiintindihan ng salita mo. Kahit yung examiner, di na makasunod dyan. Ba't to? Next ko, kwentuhan lang. Tapos, Gina G. Okay? Kalmahan mo lang. Okay? Relax. It's your favorite food na ito lang. So you have to explain what your favorite food is. Give reasons. Give examples. And provide insights about your personality during. So, what are the linking words we can use in speaking instead of the ones we use in writing? Sa writing kasi, however, nevertheless, moreover, furthermore, in addition to that, huwag niyong gagamitin. Gagamitin niyo sa speaking, ito lang. I guess. Kevin, do you like watching movies? I actually like watching movies when I was a kid. But quite recently, I guess, I'm not as fond as watching movies as I was when I was a kid. You see, I became very busy with my work. And instead of watching movies, I'd rather spend my leisure time together with my family doing activities outdoors, like hiking or camping. I think those activities are much more fun than movies. And I haven't saw a movie recently which have captivated my attention. So I think I'm not interested in the type of films being shown today. But who knows? In the future, if I get to see an interesting title or an interesting original storyline, I might watch it together with my friend as an activity, as a bonding moment for him. Diba? I guess. I believe. Tanongin ka rin yan. Kevin, which do you prefer? Shopping online or shopping in the mall? I think shopping in the mall is more fun. Because when you shop at the mall, you get to try and see the clothes for yourself, real time. Whereas I believe that shopping online, some of the products they show does not actually seem and appear the same in the actual viewpoint. One time, I ordered this pair of shoes. The brand is Crocs on Shopee. It was very cheap. It was about 350 pesos. 10 times less of Crocs original price. So I bought it, came to my doorstep. It was actually a keychain. Can you imagine it? Keychain? I thought it was a pair of shoes. I was very disappointed. That's why I think shopping in the mall is way better than shopping. In my opinion, shopping online is better, I think, because it's more convenient. You just have to type whatever it is that you want to buy, and they will give you variations, colors, sizes available. But when I go to the mall and ask for a specific size, they don't have it. They don't have a specific color to it even. That is why I believe, gamit ako ng discourse markers. Because for the reason that due to, so you have to use these discourse markers. Uncertain, maybe, probably. Sa tatlong examiner sa mga things na hindi ka masyadong sure. Like, Kevin, would you be interested in traveling abroad this year? Probably, I'll become interested traveling abroad this year if I get to do it with my family. Well, 2 years ago, we went to Thailand. Last year, we didn't have any flight destinations away from the Philippines because of how busy we are. But this year, I'm not closing my doors. I think going to New Zealand or Japan would be a very good idea. So if I get to do it with my wife and kid, then I think I'm up for it. Probably, maybe. So gamit ka ng mga ganong uncertainties. Common cause of ideas lacking organization? Too many ideas. So you have to narrow down your ideas. When you say narrow down, pag tinanong what is your favorite food? Isa pa, di po buffet. Here are my favorite food. Fritada, machado, matareta, lechon. Okay? Just pick one, explain why, explain the taste, explain the ingredients, why it's better than the other. So if your ideas are too many, just focus on one single idea, explain it, elaborate it, justify it, give examples. Okay? So, one other solution of organizing your ideas is to follow such orders. What is chronological order? You arrange your ideas in accordance of time. Examiners sometimes would ask you about your daily routine, so you can use the chronological order for that. So Kevin, tell me about what your daily routine. Wake up in the morning. I will prepare my child for a stroll because he is still an 8-month-old baby. So I will be preparing myself for work, cook breakfast for myself and my wife. So before I go out of the house, I will wake up my wife because she will be now the one to take care of our child. So in the afternoon, I'll be going home at 5:30. If I get a bit early at 5, then I'll be doing some exercises first before I do my shower and take a rest. Perhaps play with my kids in the playpen. That's my typical weekday. But on weekend, it's completely different. So when I wake up, I'll do about 5 to 10 kilometer run, and then I'll eat my breakfast, and then again, yun yung chronological, and then after that, in the afternoon, after this, then, so ganun yung chronological order. Si spatial order, pag may nagtanong sa inyo, saan po si ganito? Saan po ba makikita ito? So, punta ka dyan, kaliwa ka dito, sa tabi na gano'n, yung po si special order. Space. You have to be good with directions. So causal order, cause and effect. Tatanungin ka ng examiner, what do you think is the cause of this problem? Why do you think many young people today, they don't respect elderlies like the previous generation? Hindi na daw magalang ang mga kabataan. Ano kaya sa tingin mo? I think this has something to do with the generation gap, the age and interest of older members of the society are so far apart with the new generation. That's why they don't share any interest. And that gives this lack of respect to them, because they don't know one another. I think for us to solve this problem, we can somehow bridge the gap by someone being in the middle. The parents should be the mediator of disputes between the lack of respect between elderly and young. So they will ask you causes, they will ask you problem solutions. Topical order, it's a topical order, you have to explain topics, you have to explain significant words. So that is exactly what the ideas are when you organize them. So hesitation and self-correction. So when you hesitate, too long for your answer, the cause of that is probably being focused on vocabulary and grammar aspects. Something that we want to change. As I've mentioned, we don't want to put so much importance in vocab and grammar because they are actually inferior to fluency and pronunciation. So those two areas are the ones that we want to give more importance to. So for hesitation and self-correction, our solution here is commit to your answers and do not make mistakes obvious. So for example, Kevin, tell me about your favorite actor. Okay? Tell me about your favorite actor. The actor I like the most is Jackie Chan. Because ako po, sabi mo actor, tapos she. Di ba? O, nagkamali. Ano gagawin sa pagkakamali? Natama? Hindi. Tuloy mo lang. She does all of his roles well. From action movies to historical ones, even comedy. So he's very good. Shifting from one type of role to another. That somehow you would wonder, how is he doing this? Does he have this type of multiple personality disorder? Only for you to wonder. But this kept me account for so long that I get to be a huge fan of it. Hopefully, when I get the chance to do so, I'll ask for his photo. Do you still remember my mistake? Dina. Because I corrected it after. His, he, him na po yung ginagamit ko after. So commit to your answers. Do not make mistakes obvious. Kasi ang nangyayari, sabi nga nila, huli ang isda sa kanyang bibig. Kung mismo ang nagpapahalata. My favorite actor is Jackie Chan. And puro mali na, lagot. Hanggang mamaya, nagkasalita ka, parang puro mali na ang sinasabi ko. It could affect your confidence level. So if you committed a mistake, yes, ang suggestion, correct it, but do it later when you have another shot of doing it. Trying to come up with an impressive answer. Remember, this is a speaking exam, not an intelligence test. Ano po ibig sabihin? Tinanong ka, what is your favorite color? Binigyan ka ng option ng utak mo. Ano kaya? Indigo or red? Kasi may dalawang favorite color. Madali bang i-explain si indigo? Hindi masyado. Kasi dark shade of blue, light shade of violet, mahirap siyang bigyan ng konting resemblance sa mga explanations. Pero si red, although common answer, red is my favorite color because it represents confidence, passion, and love. Red actually fits my personality well because I'm also energetic and passionate about things. That's why I'm wearing my favorite red shirt. Give me, hopefully, a bit of luck with this season. That's my red. Favorite. Indigo, because, I like it. It's good. Walang justice or explanation why. So, you have to give the answer, even though the answer is common, simple. What is an animal that you think is interesting? Yeah? Sabi mo, woolly mammoth. Hindi mo naman siya ma-explain. Pero yung simple lion, I think lion is an interesting animal because it is known as the king of the jungle because it sits at the top of the food chain, especially in African safari. Many animals respect the lion. And they also work in groups. They have this hierarchy of who the boss is, who their leader is. So I think that we can learn a thing or two about how lions behave, how you should always hold yourself with most regard and to always respect the ones above you and to give respect to the ones below. That's why I think lions are very interesting. They're cute. So I like them. Sabi nga sir, distracted, daydreaming, niisip ko wala ko namin yan. Office. So kung isipin yung mga ganon, don't think about the consequences of the exam. Focus on the task at hand. Focus on the exam. Thinking of a better or appropriate word. Make good use of available. Ibig sabihin nun, sir, I was explaining a sport that I play with my family. Na? At ang sagot ko po ay badminton. So I was explaining badminton. Tapos nakalimutan ko yung tawag doon sa tinitira sa badminton. Kasi, again ha, there are times na baka makalimutan mo lang. Nakalimutan. You know what you call this? It's in the tip of my tongue. Diba ganun kasi ginagawa ng iba. Tawag kasi doon, mumbling in Filipino. That's also wrong in speech. Anong tawag doon in English mo? What do you call this? Anong gagawin mo pag nakalimutan mo? Describe. So the sport that I play with my family, especially during weekend, is badminton. So we use this badminton racket, shaped like a spatula with wires on it. So we hit this ball made out of feather. So we hit this certain ball, and the goal is for this not to touch your court because then the opponent will gain a point over you. And that is how we determine the winner. The more points you get means you win. You can play it singles or double. And that is badminton. It's very family-friendly game. Nakalimutan mo si shuttlecock, sabi mo, it's a ball with feathers. Okay. Answering with yes or no. Do you like eating sweets? Yes. Do you like watching movie? No. Do you like listen to music? Yes. Hindi po yes, no lang ang sagot. Kung sagot yes, tapos bakit? No, tapos bakit? And avoid repeating yes and no, huh? Because it lets the examiner know that you don't have much words to use when it comes to the speaking test. What do we mean by this? Talagang yung examiner, maraming yes or no questions yan na itatanong sa inyo. But the challenge is not for you to just use yes, basta-basta. For example, Kevin, do you like eating? Sagot ko yes. Instead na yes ang sasagutin ko, sabihin ko, certainly. Of course, I do. I'm very much into that. Action. So marami pong paraan ng pagsagot ng yes. Maraming paraan pagsagot ng Kevin, do you like watching horror films? I'm afraid I'm not a big fan of horror films because I don't find scary movies good. Not to mention, I was put into therapy when I was in grade 3 because I saw this very scary film when I was a kid that the monster haunts the dreams of kids and he terrorizes them. That's why I was very afraid of falling asleep. He didn't sleep for 3 days. That's why I vowed to never watch horror film ever. I don't like. Magamit ka ng mga ibang terms. Okay? Do you like traveling? Love traveling. Okay, so yes. Lang. Okay pa? Do not limit your answers to the bullet points or guide questions below the task description. Another problem ng short answer natin is yung task 2. Karamihan kasi talaga, hindi nila na reach yung minimum na 2 minutes ng presentation ng idea sa task 2. Makinig ka, huy, to. Very short task 2. Anong solution natin? Do not just limit yourself to the bullet points or guide questions. You have to explain every bullet point, and if you still have the chance, give structured ending. Yung tinuro natin last week in skills and so that you can give length. Kasi kailangan natin at least 2 minutes. Paano kung examiner ang gusto niya sa task 2, 3 minutes? Tapos, paano kung magsalita sa task 2, 1 minute lang? Hindi tayo mag-survive. So, ang kailangan natin sa task 2 is yung length at content. So, meron din naman, yung iba, hindi naman maikli ang sagot. Sobrang haba naman, to the point na, ang layo na niya dun sa topic. So, the cause of getting off topic is talking too much and getting carried away. So, the solution here is to just give answers within 3 to 4 sentences. Kaya nga, napaka-useful po ng tinatawag nating prep method. Pwede niyo po bang ulitin to? Prep method. Prep method. Prep stands for point, reason, example, point. What is this? Point is your direct answer. Kevin, do you like watching movies? As a matter of fact, one of the pastime activities that I do during weekend is watching movies together with my family. That is so important. And the reason, because for the reason that this activity gets everyone, like myself and my other family members, be excited with whatever it is that we're about to watch today. For example, this last week, we watched this movie on Netflix. Puss in Boots. It was very child friendly. Even my nephews and nieces get to enjoy it. So even us adults were laughing ourselves off that day. So we had so much fun. That's why I love watching movies, especially together with my family members. Point, reason, example. Hindi ako nakakita. Kaya sabi ng examiner, can you tell me about this movie? Pinanood nyo si Puss in Boots? Simple lang. It's a talking cat. It's actually one of the bedtime stories that parents tell their kids. One of the myths during the Victorian era. There was this cat who put on shoes that can fight. And these days, it was a reimagined version of that story because there were so many villains in the story. So the plot of the movie was actually death coming for this character because he wasted so many of his lives in the past. You see, there was this common misconception about cats having 9 lives. That's why that was the plot of the movie, for the lives that he wasted to be taking revenge. So at the beginning, because he was sentenced to not waste any more of his remaining lives, he had to be taken care of by an old lady who loves cats. So it was very anticlimactic at first, because a very action-packed film that was preceded by this movie now became just like kindergarten for cats. But that was just the prerogative of the story, because there were so many action things going on after just 15 minutes. Di ba, nakwento ko siya, kahit hindi mo siya na talaga napanood. Okay? So, any questions for common mistakes in fluency and cohesion? May tanong ko. Wala naman. Let's talk about the common mistakes with vocabulary and lexical resource. The first, we want to avoid kamote. Avoid being unaware of words by avoiding complex or highfalutin words. Huwag pong gagamit ng mga kakaibang words. Simple rather than complicated English is better. Avoid din po natin yung mga repeated use of specific words. Ano bang pinaka-common na ulitin na word sa English language? Very. Okay? This is the most commonly repeated word in speaking text. Instead of saying, very good, excellent, very fast, quick, very big. Sabi, sir, very big. Gargantuan, no? Gagamit na ng mga highfalutin words. Okay? Humongous. Huge. Pwede na. Nakuha po. Very small. Tiny. Instead of using very, use other synonyms of a word much closer. Okay? It was very bad. Very. Kagamit lang, paulit-ulit pa yung very. Okay? To expand your vocabulary, if you cannot think of a synonym, replace the word with a phrase that best describes it. The example I gave you about the shuttlecock kanina. Overuse of transition signals, however, moreover, wala akong gamit yan dito. Substitute transitional devices used in writing with more common words that sound natural. I believe, kung magsasabi ka ng mga in addition and to as well. No? Also, I like doing it. I also like doing it. I do it as well. Pwede rin. Instead, bumalik sa however. Okay? Substitute transitional devices used in writing with more common words sound natural. Overuse of adverbs. Look for synonyms or words that require modifiers. So, parating the examiner. Of course, for all adults here, may encounter na natin siguro nung iniinis natin yung mga tito natin. Tayo. Diba? Ginagaya natin sila. Kumain ka na ba? So nakakaano yun, tama. Examiners would also feel annoyed if you would just copy everything that you're trying to say. So instead of, what is your name? My name is. Do you live in a house or an apartment? I live in. Are you working or studying? I'm working at. So come up with your own original phrase. So how are you going to do that? Repurpose the examiner's question. What is your name? Hi, I'm. Are you working or studying? I'm currently employed at. Do you live in a house or an apartment? My place of residence is located in. So gagamit na ng ibang phrases. What is your favorite fruit? The fruit I like eating the most is. Tell me about the song that you like listening to. There are a lot of songs I listen to, but the one that I always listen to the most is Always Bon Jovi. This is an example. Nakuha? Do not just parrot the examiner. Paraphrase or directly answer the question will be our solution. Standard introduction in speaking task. So, ano po ba yung standard introduction in speaking task 2? Today, I'm going to talk to you about my favorite food. So, today, I'm going to talk to you about my favorite food. Like what I said during the speaking skills announcement, it is better to mention that out of all the things, out of all the food, out of all the restaurants, out of all the insert many, this one is what I like the most. Okay, halimbawa, nakalagay sa question, tell me about your favorite restaurant. So, sabihin mo doon, I've tried eating at many different restaurants, both here in the Philippines and also. But the one that I think I can consider my favorite would be Yellow. You see, unlike many traditional restaurants serve Filipino cuisines in the country, Yellow Cat serve dishes based in Italy, such as pizza and pasta. Pizza is actually a very uncommon food in my country. So getting a chance to eat it at least once a week is so much fun. Very exciting for me because it gives me a fresh new experience of taking break from rice-based dishes heavily offered in many restaurants in Mindanao. Kaya favorite ko yun kasi kakaiba. Kasi lahat ng kinakain ko puro puro kanin. Kasi ito, tinapay tsaka pasta naman. Kaya ito, kakaiba. Kaya ito yung favorite ko. Questions in vocabulary common mistakes? None? Okay, before we proceed to the other remaining two, grammar and pronunciation, we will take a quick 10-minute break. The time on my watch is 10:56 at 11:06. Babalik po tayo. Okay ba? So, pause muna natin ang ating recording. So, we still have grammar is not the most important area in speaking that you must work. We have encountered so many candidates in the past who have a lot of flaws when it comes to their grammar, but their abilities in speaking were assessed because of how they were able to deliver their ideas properly and more fluently. So those are the two areas I really want you guys to work on. So, but of course, there are common mistakes with grammar as well. The most common being the gender pronouns. So you have to be aware of your gender. So if you're going to mention your mother or your father, your brother, sister, your friends, and you're going to mention their names, you have to give the proper pronouns to it. So the thing about pronouns is if we know the gender and number of the noun that we're going to replace it with, it will be easier for us to identify exactly what pronoun are we supposed to use to replace it. Now, in this case, if the gender is unknown, if you're giving an example and your noun is singular in nature, it will be difficult for us to give the proper pronoun to it as a replacement. So my suggestion is, if you are going to be confused with your gender because the pronoun that you will use is not proper with the singular noun that you will use, example, a student must hand in his assignment or her assignment. So ano ba dapat, his or her? Hindi naman sa lahat ng pagkakatabi, his or her, his or her, his or her, because your speech will appear silly. So my suggestion is pluralize to avoid gender bias. Students must submit their assignment. So in that case, it will be easier for us to manage our gender grammar. So common cause is unfinished, incomplete sentences. So try to make your sentences complete. No? So no to one word or very short answers. I've mentioned previously, in answering one question, it should be at least 3 to 4 sentences. That is our requirement. So the idea here is that if you will provide an incomplete statement, like, Kevin, what is your favorite food? And you just say, pizza. That's just a one-word answer. You answer directly, but it's not in complete sentence. So how to make it complete? Pizza is my favorite food. I like it because it's delicious. I eat pizza during watching movies. So I get to enjoy it together with my family. So that's 4 statements. You answered the question, you gave reason to it, you gave me examples, and you summarized it. So that is our suggestion for unfinished sentences. Use the question itself to formulate your own introductory statement. And don't just blurt out the first things that come to your mind. Subject-verb agreement is going to be another common error. William is a sports enthusiast. He likes play basketball. He likes to play basketball. So as I've mentioned at the beginning, inappropriate personal pronouns will be a concern, especially if singular po yung magiging noun. My suggestion is pluralize. Hindi mo naman pwedeng i-pluralize yung father, di ba? So it has to be appropriate. So if pagkakaroon ng concern, father is a businessman and she knows how to make money, oops, nagkamali ako, sabi mo, but you have to commit your answer even so, tuloy-tuloy mo pa rin. He, him, his, sa mga susunod ng reference kay father, puro proper pronouns na yung gagamitin. Correct? Okay. Nouns and pronouns contradict in number. I think students should not be forced to do unpaid work for the community because he should be enjoying his life. So instead of saying he should be enjoying his life, it should be they should be enjoying their lives. So prepositions also matter. Enjoyed studying statistics back on my college days, back in my college days. But pakinggan nyo. Back on my college days, do you think the error is halata? Hindi, di ba? So, do not be the one to make it obvious. Hindi naman halata eh. Hindi na nga nila nalaman na may mali. Ba't ikaw pa magpapahalata? Okay na. Continue mo lang siya. That's why, in grammar of speaking, we can get away with slight errors like those. Partly because, number one, examiners are not very biased when it comes to grammar. Another is because it's not very critical part of the language in speaking. Kasi sa writing, may maling spelling dyan, mali na. Dito, hindi naman ipapaspell out. Di ba? So Kevin, what is your favorite tree? Okay. Kevin, what is your favorite tree? Sabi mo, acacia is my favorite tree. Is that a K or a C? A-K-A-S-Y-A? Di ba? Hindi ko papatanong yung spelling. There are no commas. So Kevin, in your sentence, my name is Kevin Mangulabnan. Where do you put the comma? Huh? They will not ask you that. No punctuation, no spelling errors, and even on-in, the mistake is not very obvious. So do not be the one to make it very obvious. The solution here is complete a sentence in your head before you deliver it. That is the solution for grammatical error. Think and speak in English right away, not to think in Filipino and translate every word in English afterwards, because those will create errors. Okay? Common mistakes with pronunciation. This is, once again, the most important part of our discussion today. So I want all of your full attention on this. Ito ang pinaka-important. So, one of the common problem that we come across with pronunciation is the fact that if you pronounce things right, people will judge. Pag tama yung pronunciation mo, hayop na. Yung kung kasama yun. Saan lang ba tayo nakakapagsalita ng maayos, ng English, hindi tayo husgan? Sa Starbucks. Huh? Okay? Oh, that's so like, I like it. And he was like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, it's like your biceps. Diba? Ganun sila mag-usap eh. We don't judge them. So, in the Philippines, we were taught pronunciation wrong. Ang turo kasi sa atin sa pronunciation, mas malakas, mas okay. Kaya nga, it's very common among elementary schools that when you visit grades 1 and 2, merong teacher doon na may hap na patpat, tinuturo yung syllables. Ah! Ba! Buko! Babae! Diba? Napaka-common. Baka! Beke! Bibe! Kasi yun lang yung alam natin eh. We have the vowel sounds and we put the consonants together with vowel sounds. I, o, u, ba, bibi, bobu. But the vowel sounds pa lang, 13 na. Kaya nga, doon sa mga lumaki, gamit po yung keypad na phone. Di ba gusto natin gamitin yung smiley na U? Kaya po may ganun pong smiley na U kasi iba po yung pronunciation nun. That's a long U sound. There's difference between rich and reach. Mas stretch yung isa. Yung reach, abot. Yung rich, mayaman. That is the difference of the pronunciation. So, magkakaroon tayo ng konting pronunciation exercise. Say, rich.
Rich.
Reach.
Reach.
Sap.
Sap.
That. Ampia. Closely. Okay. Look at the pale, ha? Look at the pale sound. Pale. Look at. Si pale, look at my lip. Yung lower lip, didikit dapat yan sa two upper front teeth, like this. Imagine si Gloria Arroyo nagsosorry sa mamamayang Pilipino. Tapos, blow the air. Like that. Pale. Flower. Okay? Full. Okay. It's full. No more parking. Full. Because of mispronunciation. So pwede pa ako? Hila? Hindi sila nagkakaintindihan because of mispronunciation. Si van and van, si V sound naman, ganito. Same. The lower lip touches the two upper front teeth like this. And then you vibrate the lower lip like this. Van. Volleyball. Vase. Vest. Vest. Okay ba yung vest sa best? Okay, ang vest, sinusuot. Ang best, pinaka. Ikaw magiging vest man. Ikaw, ha? Well, alright? So, do those practices. So, talking too fast is not actually the solution for us to improve in the pronunciation aspect. Sabi ko nga sa mga students, you know what? If you speak slower than usual, you can gain proper access to your pronunciation control. You can control it better. And you can avoid being too nervous in the process. And you put more emphasis in your pronunciation. Kasi pag minadali mo yan, the understandability level of your content drops down. But when you explain it in a slower manner, not only you are giving yourself time to think about what to include later in your answer, parang binibigyan mo sarili mo ng pagkakataon makapag-isip ka habang nagsasalita ka, but you also put a lot of your focus and effort in pronunciation, in the enunciation process, which very important in our speaking test. So, take deep breaths. Okay? To make yourself relaxed and to keep yourself calm. And use hand gestures to loosen up. Gamit ka ng mga hand gestures. So, yan yung examiner. Kinakabahan ka. Kailangan na mawalay ka ba ko? Hindi na ako magsasalita ng masyado mabilis. So, ayan. So, ayun yung camera. Magkikita po kayo ng examiner. Use hand gestures. Okay. So, Kevin, tell me about your most recent visit to the mall. So, the last time I went to the mall, I went there with my family and so gumagamit ka ng hand gestures. According to studies, people who use hand gestures during their talk are deemed to be more intelligent by the listener. That's why sa mga journalists, madalas natin nakikita yan. Sa mga sports analysts, gumagamit din sila ng mga hand gestures. Pero please, wag naman po, nasa lahat ng pagkakataon may hand gesture ka, hindi naman siya kailangan. For example, hi, my name is Kevin, and I'm... Di ba? Parang si Karate Kid, may bulati ka may kitikiti ka, sabi nga ng mga magulang natin, may kitikiti ka ba sa tiyan? So you use hand gestures only when necessary, especially to loosen yourself up. So take deep breaths, use hand gestures. For slurring ability, this is a feature of American accent because Americans are lazy speakers. They don't want to enunciate words. They want to do the shortcut of everything. That's why they speak very fast. So one thing na i-avoid natin is yung mga slang like wanna or gonna. Yeah, cause. Yan. Kevin, do you like eating spicy food? Yeah. I like eating spicy food because it makes the taste unique. And I'm gonna eat one later because I want to eat it. So avoid po natin yung ating slurring and audibility. Okay? So mouth not wide open enough, uncertain with your response or answer. So open your mouth wider while talking, but do not overdo it. Huwag naman sobrang OA na laki-laki na ng bibig. No? So practice answering questions is definitely the most helpful tip that I can give to anyone. So we have the list of questions on our group. Just have to type #speaking, skim and scan through all those questions, face a mirror, record yourself while practicing and answering questions. Sabi nga ng isang student po na pumasa, naka 7.5 sa speaking, sir, nagbunga din po yung pagpapractice kong sagutin lahat ng questions na meron ka sa group. Sabi ko, hi, salamat. Buti na lang may estudyanteng nakikinig sa tinuro kong practice. Kasi lately, wala nang gumagawa ngayon nun. Okay? So, practice answering questions, face the mirror, record yourself so that you be the one to judge yourself accordingly. Sabi mo, saan bang areas ka dito nag-stutter, saan areas dapat i-polish, then have yourself coach on a weekly basis, and then take the exams once you are confident to take it. Not expressing emotions when talking. Remember, you should express emotions. Especially examiners will ask you about their likes and dislikes. Kevin, tell me about the most memorable childhood experience that you had with your family. The most memorable childhood experience I had with my family when we went to Baguio City. It was very fun. I like going there because, Diyos ko, napakasaya mo nga. No? Tell me about how you celebrated your most recent birthday party. It was so fun. My friends were there. We went to a restaurant together. And then we went home. We drank alcoholic beverages. We got drunk. Napaka-monotonous. Parang nakikipag-usap sa robot. Okay? So imagine, if you want to change the intonation, you have to vary pitch and volume and even the pace. So halimbawa, the answer lang na I like eating pizza. I like eating pizza. Flat yan. Apat word. I like eating pizza. Walang binago. Pag nilagay mo yung emphasis sa I like eating pizza. May iba na agad eh. Diba? Iba na agad yung dating eh. Ang emphasis no nasa I, not you, not my brother, but it is I who like eating pizza. I like eating pizza. Means I have this inclination towards pizza. I like eating pizza. I don't just like staring or ordering or throwing the box away. I eat it. I like eating pizza. Magkakaiba siya. So it's up to you where you want to put the intonation. Iba-ibang emphasis ang naipoprovide. Nagkakaintindihan? So sa isang sentence, hi, my name is Kevin Mangolabnan. Dapat may ibang pitch. Hi, sa umpisa, my name is Kevin Mangolabnan. Please call me Kevin for short because that is what my friends and family call me. It's nice to meet you. So meron siyang variation ng tone. So practicein mo yun. No? Pag nasa bahay ka, practicein mo siya. Hi, mother, where have you been? Okay? So practice po. Mispronunciation, regional accent, mispronunciation was not corrected early on. Again, yung iba sa atin, medyo mahirap na i-correct yung pronunciation, but we can still do something about it. As early as today, do the right thing of improving your pronunciation by focusing on your mouth movements, your articulators, your teeth, your jaw, your breathing, your relaxation, how you control the situation, how you keep the pace slow, avoiding slur. Okay? So pay attention to mouth movement. This will be our solution. So, we will watch videos muna.
Now, we've been talking about a well-known person you
Yep.
like or admire, and I'd like to discuss with you one or two more general questions related to this. Let's consider, first of all, famous people in your country.
Yep.
So in China, what kind of people become famous?
Politicians, the pop stars, and sports stars. It's similar with the other countries, I think.
Is one of those groups more popular than others?
It depends, because for like politicians, you have to know them because they appeared all the time on televisions or newspapers. But for some pop stars, because it's especially famous for the young people, because the young people like to follow the stars and the new trends. But for sports stars, they mainly become famous during some Olympic games or some competitions. So it really depends. Yeah.
What about in the past? Were those same people famous in the past? Politicians, sports stars, and pop stars?
I think so, because even I have talked with my parents at their age, and when they was young, they also follow some pop stars and the sports stars, and for the politicians, they change quite often. So yeah, they're also famous. Yeah.
And how about the future? Where do you think it's going to go?
I think this kind of people will remain famous in the future. This type of people, because we still have lots of new pop stars, sports stars, and some new politicians. But I think some other people will join them as well. For example, notice some like entrepreneurs. For example, the founder of the Facebook, he's famous for everyone. Even some not weird but strange people like the founder of the WikiLeaks. He's also popular because the things has done. So I think this kind of new raising group people will join the famous people in the future.
And do you think technology is going to be the place where many of our famous people come from in the future?
Definitely, because I think notice most of people use the Facebooks, the Twitters, so definitely this kind of website or the new technology will help to make people famous. And I think many people are working on it because there are special companies to make these people famous through the internet, the advertisement or the promotion. Yeah.
Now let's talk about celebrity culture. Often famous people are used in advertising.
Yep.
Can you give me some examples of that?
Well, it's quite often, we can see lots of famous people on the television. For example, like one typical example is the Michael Jordan, because he is actually, when the first time the Nike become very famous, it's because Michael Jordan, because he is the first, he's the first NBA stars, to sign a company to, have the, serious commercials for specific companies. And I think that's a typical example, how the famous people to help the company successful, and also the company use his money to make the stars become more famous. So I think it's, yeah.
And that example you're talking about with Michael Jordan, he's a basketball player who is promoting a product that he was personally involved in producing. What about celebrities who endorse products for which they have no personal connection?
Yeah, it's quite often because people are profit oriented. Because we can see lots. I think for some like makeup production, we can see lots of famous female stars. They just say, okay, this one's so good, it's fantastic. Nobody know whether she is used it or not. Yeah, I think sometimes it depends on this is ethnical choice. Someone they really try it and use it and then say, okay, this one's fine, it's good. So we can rely on it, but some of them just, want to get the money. So it's just, do the promotion stuff without really using it or, testing it.
Now, how about our young people? How might famous people or celebrities have a negative impact on our young people?
Well, as we know, some famous people is not that, good. I have to say, I cannot say they're immoral, but the actions they have done is really bad. The example for the young kids or the young generation, because some of them once they become the famous, they just try to drugs, have stay in the clubs, all day, not all day, but all the night, and yeah, definitely, young people sometimes cannot distinguish good things or the bad things. Sometimes they just follow the star's actions. So it makes, some of them just, okay, say, it's pretty cool thing, to try some drug because that star is trying it or many stars are trying it. Or it's pretty cool, to stay with girls all the time, different girls all the time, Some might, idol, he's doing the same thing. So I think it's pretty bad negative effects on the young people.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's the end of the speaking test.
Thanks.
Okay. Ilan yung score niya, sir? The speaker's score is actually 6.0. There were a lot of things that went well in his exam. Number one, he was very confident. He was smiling, the emotions was there. But there were a lot of problems. Sometimes when he speak, money, yun na rin naiintindihan. Because nag-slur yung kanyang speech. Too fast. Getting carried away, most of his answers were actually out of topic. But he still got 6. Ito yung examiner's comment. Live po na naging exam ito at ito po yung naka-indicate sa kanyang score. Reasonable range of linking words. Gumamit siya ng actually as a result. Tulad ng sabi ko, gamit kayo ng mga linking devices. Grammatical constructions are used well to introduce ideas. By having a hobby, by doing sports, gumagamit siya ng ganun. He also conveys ideas and opinions effectively. Pronunciation is generally clear and uses stress and intonation to convey meaning. But what went wrong? He talks for an extended period of time, but he occasionally loses coherence in the process because of hesitation and repetition. Pag sabing hesitation, repetition, ganito siya magsalita eh. I think he doing drugs for a day. But may mga pinapalitan siya sa salita niya na parang sila kasi may mga ginagawa sila like pagdadrug sa araw, ay hindi araw, siguro gabi, pero yun, nagdadrug sila. So siya mismo, iniiba niya yung sagot niya in the middle of his answers. So he used the words excessively. Teka lang, masisira ang ating yan. Like well, like, cause, and yeah. Lalo yung lagi niya, and then we got this, and then, So, napaka-repetitious nung kanya. Ayan na nasira. Yan. So he does not demonstrate awareness of register or style and uses very informal words like gonna and wanna. Flat intonation as a whole and syllable-timed speech resulting into mechanical rhythm. He also mispronounced the words while, sabi niya whale, yung leisure, valor, yung louds, pati nga Twitters, Facebooks and Twitters, and lahat may S, nilagyan niya ng S. But those are the things that went wrong. So here's a sample of someone who scored a 9 in her speaking exam.
We've been talking about a well-known person you like or admire, and I'd like to discuss with you one or two more general questions related to this. Let's consider first of all famous people in your country. So in Malaysia, what kind of people become famous?
In Malaysia, definitely the politicians, and also some actors and actresses are very famous among Malaysians.
So what about in the past? Is that the same as in the past? Were politicians and actors and actresses always?
I think definitely in the past, if you're talking about the 50s and 60s, movies were the number one communication tool between villages or towns. So the people definitely knew actors and actresses better than the politicians. Compared to now, you have TV and news where people follow politicians' personal life more than an actor or actress.
Because in many cultures, quite the opposite has happened, where politicians used to be quite well known, whereas nowadays movie stars, television stars are more well known. What do you think about in the future? Do you think that that's going to continue? Politicians will continue to be?
I think definitely in the future, because the world is becoming more globalized, Malaysians would have a tendency to be exposed to more international programs, and they know more international celebrities compared to the local actors and actresses or local politicians. So we would follow international politics, maybe American or British politics, or even the models or actresses internationally.
Well, let's talk about celebrity culture. Often famous people are used in advertisements. Can you give me some examples of that?
Yeah, famous people like actors and actresses are used in advertisements, and especially sports celebrities like Tiger Woods or Roger Federer, promoting sports equipment or sports shoes or clothes. Other than that, I think it's more models and actresses that sponsor perfume and clothes. And
is that
models.
always true that whatever profession they're involved in, that's the kind of product that they tend to promote?
I don't think that's true, because a lot of celebrity actresses support perfumes and support clothes whereby actually it should be models that do it.
But isn't that sort of glamorous kind of side of Hollywood that they can try to bring to the public?
I suppose that's what they're trying to do, the marketing. The people who are marketing the product are trying to bring in the glamour that that celebrity holds. But yeah, I suppose a celebrity they do have that grasp over, people's mindset and what they should buy, the consumerism.
Now you're talking about their influence
Yes.
on the consumer. What about on the young? Do celebrities, do you think, produce negative effects in our youth?
Definitely, I think they do. As you can see, like lifestyle and health, celebrities are becoming thinner, models and celebrities. And when you open a magazine, young girls would be exposed to thin models, and they think that that's normal for them to be thin, and that could cause them to go into anorexia, bulimia, or unhealthy practices, because they think being thin is a norm, whereas being healthy and being normal-bodied is actually the norm.
Now, what about young boys? Do you think that celebrities can have an influence on young boys?
I think most definitely. I think young boys could be influenced in a way materialistically, like they would want the big car that the celebrities drive, and they want the bling, and they want all the cool gadgets and tools that there are out there, and it could make boys realize that materialistic things are the only way to happiness.
Now, what about public opinion? How might celebrities be used to influence public opinion?
Celebrities are used actually to, like, if you can see PETA, the protection of the endangered animals, they use celebrities to get to the public. There's like this promotion where they get celebrities to go naked to show that animals are stripped, especially like seals and foxes and all that, for their fur. And it strikes a chord because it's a celebrity. Oh, that person's doing that. Let's look at the poster. Oh, what's the message? Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. That's the end of the speaking test.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So she got a 9. Obviously, because she was in control of how she pronounces and delivers her answers. Though there were occasional losses of coherence, she gets back up afterwards. Control was there. The enunciation process was really strong. The pronunciation was generally clear. And he talks examples and explanations which are relevant to the topic at hand. So now that you see someone who got a 9, I hope that you can also do the same. So speak in a strong voice. Assertiveness, talkativeness would be a factor. It is often better to slow yourself down to think than to rush through the words which are not relevant to your topic. So tips, how to become a niner. Undergo at least 10 coaching sessions before applying to the test. You're going to ask yourself, when is your exam? That will be next month. And you ask yourself again, how many sessions have I undergone? 2. What experience are you going to get from that 2 sessions? Well, attend minor lectures related to speaking. Is this a minor lecture? Yes, this is just a minor lecture because usually my major lecture in speaking lasts for 5 hours, which are the speaking skills enhancement and content speaking lectures respectively. So be sure to attend those. Okay? So attend your grammar lectures, attend vocabulary lectures. Nagkaroon din po tayo ng vocabulary for IELTS. Review your orange book. It is in the PDF format that I will upload on our group. Practice answering speaking task cards. So both in this orange book contains questions in speaking. Also, we have questions on our Facebook group. You just have to type the keyword #speaking. You also have to check on the speaking skills enhancement content speaking posts. Again, next week ito, I will include the PDF of the speaking task cards that you have to make yourself familiar with. And expand your vocabulary through watching English movies, watching shows in English. Pag Korean drama, ano matapos? Basta, ano mo doon? Na English muna, na? Tsaka na tayo mag-K-drama. So watch English movies and TV shows, be confident in your preparations, and start strong and finish. Our aim is to get a 9.0 in these. So let's do a short activity. So bring out your pencil and paper. Yes. Okay. So, this is how you're going to answer. Palagay mo dyan sa papel, interview 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So question, which places did you visit often when you were a child? So, halimbawa, sasagutin ko, I used to go to the zoo twice a month. I miss going to the zoo. But I don't go there as actually, I really love seeing and feeding animals. So I'm planning to drop by more often. So, halimbawa, ang sagot ko ay D, A, C, B. Yun, lalagay ko sa 1B, lalagay ko sa 2A, C, lalagay ko sa 4B. Hindi po yun yung totoong sagot dahil yung point at isip lang. Sagutan niyo po yan ngayon. Lalagay niyo po yung A, B, C, D doon sa 1, 2, 3, 4. Kung ano po yung mag-take nun sa kanila. Naintindihan niyo ba? Paano? Ito po yung pinakasagot natin talaga. I used to go to the zoo twice a month because salpak mo lang po dyan kung ano yung mag-mix the most sense. Okay? 2 minutes, baka sagutan niyo. So, the answer is A, B, D, C. So, basahin ko ha. I used to go to the zoo twice a month because I really love seeing and feeding the animals. But I don't go there as often as now. Actually, I miss going to the zoo, so I'm planning to drop by more often. Okay, next question. Interview number 2. What kind of books do you like to read? It depends. Blank, but blank. Actually, blank. I guess mga blanks mo na yun, fill in natin using the A. I've already finished reading 3 books. B. If I want to expand my vocabulary. C. I'll stop reading for now. D. If I want to learn how to cook. Sagot. Either BB, DB, AC. So let me read this to you. It depends. If I want to expand my vocabulary, I'll read the dictionary. But if I want to learn how to cook new dishes, I'll read a cookbook. Actually, I've already finished reading 3 books last week, so I'll stop reading for now. Interview 3. Pakisagutan po. Hanggang interview 75 po yan. Question, do you like eating vegetables? Answer, actually, like. But have to start eating more big fan of veggies. Sometimes think it's really sweet. You know that's good for the body. Be dog, and it can lose weight and help your feet out. I got B, C, D. You like eating vegetables? Actually, I'm not a big fan of veggies. So pag sabi yung actually po na word, so ko lang isabihin po sa inyo, ibig sabihin po nun ay surprisingly opposite of what's intended dun sa question. So sabi, do you like eating spicy food? Actually, Sabi, you got 9 in reading in the IELTS. You must be a bookworm. Actually, I'm not a fan of reading books. So yun po si actually. So I'm not a big fan of veggies. I don't find it stays appealing, but I do know that it's good for the body. So yun po yung ating. Next, number 4. Joke lang. Ano po number 4? So references po ng ating discussion for today. We have British Council Org magazine, 10 Don'ts in the IELTS Speaking Test. Lahat po ng links na yan ay working. May mga PDF files din po dyan. You can download it. I'll be posting this replay together with the handout on our Facebook group, Discord channel. Once again, we will no longer post replays sa ating Messenger community chat. Bakit? Because nababan po yung Facebook ko dahil akala ni Facebook pag nag-post ang Google Drive ay porn ang aking share. So, yung ilan lang po dun yung porn. Hindi naman po lahat. Okay? So, para po ma-access pa rin po yung mga files, ipinopost ko yun sa description ng mga videos. Oftentimes, dala ng kabisihan, hindi na po ako nakakapag-post ng replay. That's why, ang suggestion ko, pasubscribe po dun sa channel natin. Tapos, pakiclick yung notification bell. Pag nag-premiere public na po yung ating, kasi pag nag-post process to, I have to wait for 10 minutes to upload the SD version. I have to wait for 2 hours to upload the HD version. So kung naka-on lang yung laptop ko na, naka-on lang yung ating PC na sa bahay. And then, tsaka ko lang mapopost yung ating replay. At dala ng kabisihan, hindi na rin po ako nakapag-post at times. But ina-attach ko na dun sa description. So later, gagawin natin to ngayon. Automatically, mag-notify sa inyo na itong new video is up for watching. Okay? Pati po yung activity files na to, kasama doon sa ating link na i-share. So, yun lang po ang suggestion para hindi nyo po ma-miss yung mga replays natin. So, guys, that will be the end of our. So, thank you for participating kay John, Jovan, Lauren, Marvin, Matias, Sha. I-stop ko lang po muna yung aking record.